Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be a look back at my 2022 favorites, and it's my first video to wrap up the year and tell you all about what I loved and also didn't like in 2023. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I have a video in front of my Christmas tree in my Christmas sweater, which can only mean one thing. We are starting my yearly wrap up that I've been doing for years now, and I thought it would be fun to go back to my 2022 favorites before we go into my 2023 favorites to let you know, do I still like these products at all or not? So let me just get into the video and let me tell you all about it. In case you're new here and you've never watched one of my videos, hi, my name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup, and hence what I select for my end of year favorites. I love trying out Essence & Catrice eyeshadow palettes and getting the use out of my makeup, and I've been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. So if that's something you're interested in, then I hope you'd like to consider sticking around. So yes, first things first, I have a couple of announcements to make. If I still sound a little bit congested, I've been ill, which is why this is late. I had planned to do daily videos from Christmas Day until New Year's Eve, and I was just hit with some sort of flu thing. I'm not sure what happened, but I've been sicker than I have been in the past 20 years for like close to a week now. So if I still sound a little bit raspy, that's okay, but I just really wanted to come on here and film this video. But yeah, I do sound a little bit differently. Also, if anything looks or sounds different, this is my first video filming with my new camera that I got myself in the Black Friday sales. So I'm gonna tell you more about the camera when I do my monthly haul at the start of January, but if you notice any difference in quality in the videos that are going up this week compared to last week, it could be because I have some new equipment. So let me know what you think of it. This is my first time doing a true filming video, so I hope it all comes out. The tests seem promising. So let me just get to these 2022 favorite products. I've took everything that I had selected last year for my favorites up here so that I have a bit of a prop to let you know how I feel about these products now. And to my surprise, of the entire list I made, there were only 2 products that were missing from my collection that I no longer have. One of them because it was used up this year. That's how much I loved it. So a very warranted favorite, I think, last year. That was the Apieu Moist Creamy Concealer. I'll pop up a picture up on the screen here so that you know what I'm talking about. But the second product is one that I decluttered, and it was the Catrice Melting Kiss lipsticks. And not because I didn't like them, but they were just a little bit too similar to other things that I like better in my collection. So that's usually what happens. So that's why that ended up being decluttered. However, that being said, that doesn't mean it was a bad product at all. So I just want to make sure if you're like, I'm missing a couple products, Maaike, that could be why. Also, I will try to leave as many links as I can in the description box down below, so I can link you to reviews if you want to see swatches or what things look like on my face. And I will also be making sure to have some links to these products that if you want to buy these, you can do that. If you do choose to shop through those links, just be noted that I could make a small commission because they are going to be affiliate links. But yeah, let me just get to these products because there's a lot to chat about. So I always like to do my first category, the base category. So setting sprays, primers, concealers, foundations. It's usually concealers and foundations because setting sprays, powders, or primers never really impress me that much. However, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh setting spray actually made it into my favorites. I bought 2 of these in backup earlier this year, and the other one is currently being used as part of my Shop My Stash, and it's currently the only setting spray I have in my makeup collection, so that says you something. Like I mentioned, I had that Apieu Moist Creamy Concealer in, but I had 2 other concealers in. This may be a little bit small. I need to be pretty far away from the camera to get the Christmas tree in the background. This camera has a smaller angle, you could say, like a smaller, yeah, a smaller angle than my previous camera had, so I have to move it a little bit further away. But I'll show you some of the fun things this thing can do when we get to other videos next in the new year, you could say. But yeah, I had the MAC Studio Fix Smooth Wear Concealer in there, and this is one I have just completely forgotten about ever since I've now reviewed the Dior concealer that I liked, and also the Charlotte Tilbury one. I feel that this is like those, but the other ones are a little richer and creamier and better for my skin personally than this is. So this may now actually be due a declutter because I just have things I like better. And then the Catrice Under Eye Brightener. This is one of my favorite products from Catrice. It's really lovely. They now also do this in a yellow tone. They came out with it this year. So if you have a warmer undertone, you may be interested in trying that one instead of this pinky tone. For the most part, what I try most in a given year is foundations and skin tints. So I had 6 foundations and skin tints in last year's roundup. So I had mainly high-end things in here, but a lot of glowy options and a lot of things in tubes for some reason. So this is all the tubey stuff. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. So these are all like squeezy tubes, but these, like the higher end ones, do have a pump. This one doesn't. The NYX Born to Glow is sadly now discontinued. I can still find it on some websites in Europe, but it's gone from the official NYX website, but it's still one of my favorite drugstore foundations. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin and the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. Really lovely foundations. The only reason why I nearly decluttered my Charlotte Tilbury earlier in the year is because this one is so similar, and I like this shade match better, because I'm not sure if you can see, the shades of the foundations actually come through. And I have the Charlotte Tilbury one in 3 Cool, and this one is in Porcelain, so this is a much better shade match for me. This one doesn't come in my shade, which sucks. So that's the only reason why I nearly decluttered it, but I love the formula. Then for skin tints, I had 2 options in there, the Rare Beauty and the HEMA Bay Skin Tint, both really lovely. I did a roundup of skin tints last October, I think, and both of these still came into like the top 5 of my all-time favorite skin tints. So these were some really good trials, yes, last year. The HEMA one is a pretty good dupe for the Glossier skin tint, I feel. HEMA is a Dutch makeup brand. I'm wearing their sweater. So they did the sweater this year for Christmas, and I thought it was really lovely, and I wanted to make sure I still filmed one video. I know it's the day after Christmas today. I mean, I'm in the Netherlands. We celebrate Boxing Day as well. So I'm filming this Boxing Day, but I was like, you know what? I could still do one video in a Christmas sweater. I'm sure you don't mind. I just think it's just so cute with the red, and then the little cat, his name is Sipi, and then we have Ducky, the little dog here. They are children's book characters that are very popular here in the Netherlands. So in case you are unfamiliar with Dutch culture, I think pretty much every Dutch child grows up with Ducky, Sipi, Jip, and Janneke. They just do. But yeah, that's the same store that sells this product, so just giving them a shout out here. Not sure you can find that online, but I will link you to the Dutch website so that maybe you can figure out whether it ships to your destination. I wouldn't know. And of course, the Rare Beauty is a little bit more widely available. This was my #1 skin tint. It's just really, really lovely. It does everything that I want a skin tint to do, and the shade match is spot on. I have the Rare Beauty in 16C. I'll make sure, if I've skipped over any sort of shade names, I'll make sure to have them in the description box. And then last year I tried the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation in shade 5. And this is really, really lovely. Like, right, it's shade 5. Yeah, it's shade 5. This is the foundation where I thought I was going to be lighter than I actually was. But this shade range is so extensive that I actually struggled to figure out what shade to get. But yeah, shade 5 is my perfect shade. It's an exact shade match. So if you want to know what my skin tone is like, this is the one. And it is a cool toned foundation, people. It truly is. So yeah, Lisa Eldridge, I still like this, but I haven't reached for it all year because as I started off saying in this video, I try a lot of foundation in a given year. And this year I was just focusing on trying BB creams and skin tints because that's videos that I wanted to do. And I definitely want to make sure I revisit this in 2024 because I really did like the way this looked. It did mean that I had to figure out a different way for me to be, I don't know, how should I say it? Like to apply the foundation, because this doesn't work really well with a beauty blender. It works best with a brush. So this foundation made me change my foundation application, and I've been loving my foundation looks ever since. Next up are cheeks, because that's always the next category I seem to do when I do my favorites videos. And for my end of year favorites, I'm still going to be doing worst makeup of 2023. Then I'm going to do one giant video with all the base, cheek, and lip products, and then one giant eye and eyeshadow palette video. Those were all going to be separate videos, but I figured we'll just do two, and then you can still get all the favorites. So I'm sure you don't mind. I had a couple of Rare Beauty things in here again. So Rare Beauty is a firm favorite from last year for sure. And I still like all of these products. I went back to these. I traveled with some of these this year, and I still love them. So I had the bronzer stick in Power Boost, the liquid highlighter in Mesmerize, and the liquid blush in Hope. And this threesome of products is just really, really pretty. They go together really well, and they work really well for my skin tone. So I love those. But because of that, I haven't been trying much Rare Beauty this year. Like Rare Beauty, 2022 was a Rare Beauty year for me. But I haven't tried much from the brand this year. Also because a lot of it was out of stock. Rare Beauty was really difficult to buy this year for me. Not sure if anybody else has that experience. And then a trusty favorite, because I've mentioned this in the past, like whenever I do my declutter regrets videos, I always harp on why I declutter so much of my Essence and Catrice stuff. But when they do nice things, they also make it into my end of year favorites. These are all Catrice products. I had 4 Catrice products in my 2022 favorites. Just saying, because they can just do some really, really good things. The Holiday Skin Bronzer in Summer in the City. Can I open this with one hand? No, of course not. So let me show you the powder. This is the lighter version. They no longer do this one. You can still get the darker one, but they now do a compact that has a bronzer and a highlight in. Very much like the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. But this one is a better shade for me even than the one in the new one from Catrice. So that's why I've kept this one around. Still love it. Don't love the scent, but the look of that bronzer is stunning. They did these liquid highlighters, aka the e.l.f. Halo Glow stuff that dropped this year. Catrice did it in their their Disney limited edition that they did at the end of 2022. This is from their Villains collection. It's in the shade Maleficent and the shade Cruella. Cruella is a highlighter version of Peachgasm, and Maleficent is spot on for Spotlight. I have some shorts where I compare these to the Charlotte Tilbury ones as well. I like those just as much. Maybe even better, because they were far cheaper. And then I have 2 of these oil-infused products. So this is the blush. This is sadly no longer available. The Cheek Lover oil-infused blush in Blooming Hibiscus. It's that Nars Orgasm kind of shade, if Nars Orgasm pulled pink rather than peach. Does that make sense? It's a pinky peach, for sure. It definitely has warmth. But it has this like cooler tone flash. It's very stunning on the cheeks. Love that one. And then in that same line, they did this oil-infused highlighter. This is in Glowing Peony. And I still love this thing as well. If you want a very subtle glow, this is stunning. And then I had some more. These are more high-end things. So I have this highlighter from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer. Can they make these names even longer? In Pink Glow. And here is what that one looks like. It is a really stunning, more vibrant pink highlighter, which is something that I had sworn off because these like icy pinks, I don't like them on myself. They can be a little bit too stark and noticeable because they flash so heavily. But then I tried this one and I was sold. It's the best icy pink highlighter I've ever found. And then 2 products that, again, I've sort of forgotten about, but not because I don't like them, but just because I have been trying so many more cream and liquid blushes in the past year that these have just gone like a step back. in my makeup collection, you could say. It's the Fenty Cream Cheek in, it's their Cheeks Out Cream Cheek in Strawberry Drip, which is this really nice vibrant shade. This is more of like a pinky coral. And then for that more orange tone, I had the MAC Glow Play in Heat Index. That's what it's called, right? Glow Play. Yes, Glow Play blush in Heat Index. I still love these. I wear these kind of shades more so in the summertime though. When I have a little bit more color to my face, I do really enjoy shades like this. This is a bit more pink. This is a little bit more warm tone, depending on what you like. Of the MAC, I did buy another shade because I like the formula so much. It's like the MAC is more like a putty and the Fenty is more like your standard cream. And then we're moving on to lips, because I also tried a bunch of lip products, which I do every year. I don't feel though that this year was a bit difficult to find, like to figure out what lip products I tried and what I would recommend. Then I figured it out in the end. So you'll see, I think on Friday, you will see what lip products I enjoyed. So all three of these categories are going to be in one video this year, just so you know. So last year I tried the Catrice Shine Balm lipsticks. When I decluttered my makeup collection this year though, I decided to only keep the one sort of mauve tone shade. Can you see this? It's nice. It's a good lipstick formula. It's just one of those lipstick formulas that, you know, because Catrice revamps their lipstick formulas over and over, I have just like completely fallen out of love with this because I like their Scandalous Matte that they came out with this year so much better. Just saying. Tower 28. Last year it was the Milk Jelly in Coconut. This is the one in Pistachio. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. Because I did use that one up and then repurchased it. But because Coconut was a little bit more peachy, I wanted the more mauve pinky tone, which is why I went with Pistachio and Sesame. Sesame is like a darker version of this. I like both, but I wear this one the most. It's like my perfect nude lip. This guy, the Catrice Better Than Fake Lips Volume Gloss, was already discontinued. However, their new marble glosses are exactly the same formula. They just look marble in the tube. It's the only difference. The scent is even the same, and the shades are pretty much the same. I have this in Lifting Nude. Again, a gloss I used up this year, and I hunted some of these down online to have 2 of these in backup because I love it that much. Still love it. Still wear it all the time. And then last year, I tried a couple of K-Beauty lip tints for the first time, and that made me realize that I really needed to dig through and find some favorite formulas. So let me find the 2 culprits, because these are the 2 products that made me realize that K-Beauty can do really good lip products. So I did actually 3 different lip stain videos to review them all for you. So I'm going to be sharing my favorites of those videos with you in my next video. But as far as I know, all the shades I had last year, I decluttered because as much as I like the formulas, the shades weren't quite right for me. But then when I placed my orders for those lip tints I actually reviewed over the summertime, I did repurchase them in shades I do like. So I now have 4 or 5 of these Peri Para Ink Velvets. This is the one in Wine Nude, really, really stunning. And this is the Romance Zero Velvet Tint in Vintage Taupe, which is also really stunning. Similarly, because Kaleidos is made in Asia and it's like shipped directly to you, a lot of their formulas are pretty like Asian friendly. It's like very sort of what you see on the Asian market. Kaleidos does it for the Western market. That's sort of the way I feel about them. And they did these Cloud Play lip clays, I think they're called, and I bought a bunch of them last year. Did a full dedicated video to all the shades I have. I still wear these from time to time, especially this selection, because it's the more unusual shades. So these are shades I don't have anywhere else. In here is like a gray tone mauve, a teal, a black, and a dark purple. They're not shades that you see me wear a lot on my channel, but if I want to get creative, I do wear those. I don't really wear a lot of the standard shades that I have, not gonna lie, but it comes in beautiful tins like this, which I adore. So yeah, the Kaleidos Cloud Play Lip Clays, I do still really enjoy, but because this is a very moldable formula, like you really have time to play with these, They are excellent lipsticks for like layering and ombre and like really getting creative with your lip looks. So if that's something you're interested in, then this may be a good one to check out. And then a gloss I had completely forgotten about. But last year I tried some Wayne Goss makeup for the first time. And this is the Wayne Goss Petunia Lip Glass. I think that's what it's called. I still recall loving this formula. But then of course I bought this. And I still have my Patrice, which is also a nudie mauve tone gloss. So I think it's just because the shade is so similar to other things I have that I haven't reached for this a lot. And then there's other things I'm trying out. So that's why I think this one fell a bit by the wayside. But I think if I were to declutter my makeup right now, I wouldn't get rid of it just like directly, because this one is still a really good gloss formula, so I just need to reach for it more. And then last year I really got into the Dior Lip Glow Lip Oil. You will have found, however, and this will come to no surprise to you if you've been following my channel, that this has been replaced by a far cheaper option. I still love this, but there is just one thing that is much more affordable than this is that I like even better. But this is my Lisa Eldridge Insanely Saturated in Strawberry Shock. I'm wearing velvet ribbon right now because I thought the red would match the sweater quite well. At least when I held it up to the sweater, it was like the exact same shade. So I was like, let's do a festive red. But if you want a neon toned red, then Strawberry Shock is quite possibly the best one. I wore it quite a bit over the summertime and I really enjoyed it. And finally, palettes. I tried so many palettes last year, but I thought I had tried fewer this year. And I've already done the count because I'm going to be ranking my eyeshadow palettes for you next month. I think actually in the first week of January already, so you can look forward to it on like, I don't know, Thursday or Sunday next week. It should be up, provided my voice keeps cooperating and I don't get sick again. But I'm going to take it easy the next couple of days, just film some videos, potter around the house. I don't have to be anywhere. So I should be fine. But yeah, these were the 10 palettes I liked the best last year. And when I did that video, I actually included a little list of like predictions of palettes that I had bought towards the end of the year that I was predicting were going to be favorites. So stay tuned until Sunday when I share with you my top 10 favorite, I think it's actually going to be a top 15 eyeshadow palettes of this year to see whether that prediction actually came true. So yeah, let me show you what I had for you last year. This is in no particular order. I had, one of the first things I shared with you was the Viseart Kashmiri. And Viseart's formula, you guys know this about me, is one of my favorites. So when I saw that they were launching like companion palettes to two of my favorite Viseart palettes this year, I of course had to snatch them up. They took 4 weeks to get here, but you'll see in my haul that I did pick up the Vespertine and the Charmeuse, I think it's called. But the Kashmiri, I mean, it has a really cute fall packaging. It's like your ultimate neutral palette, isn't it? Let me see if it works. Ah, there we go. So one of the fun features of this camera is that if you hold up a product to the camera, it will focus on it automatically. And then when you put it back, it focuses on you again. It has a really good autofocus. So that is the Kashmiri from Viseart, and been loving this one. Still love it. It's one of my favorite neutral palettes I have in my entire collection. If you give me like, if I'm gonna do this video in January as well, like my top 10, maybe 15 favorite neutral palettes. It's a video I do every January, and it's always fun to see how my thoughts have updated over time. But I think this one is still gonna make the cut this year because that's a good one. Then last year I tried some Kaleidos. If you saw my most recent eyeshadow palette review for December, you will know that I have tried some more of these this year. These are the ones from the Smoky Nostalgia collection. These are the Cold Brew and the Black Jasmine. And this time around they have like a whole series of these. And I just love the formula of these. I really, really do. This is the Black Jasmine. And here is the Cold Brew. It's a little bit reflective. Can I not make it that shiny? I'm like filming right in front of my window. But yeah, this is just a really, really pretty, really stunning little 4 pans. And I've been loving all 6 of these. So yeah, love these still till this day. And I love how all 6 of them sort of like intertwine and mix and match. Love that. This palette was on my 2022 favorites list last year, and this is the Ninhydrin from Adept Cosmetics, because this was just lovely. I really like the special shades in here, but it also worked as a palette as it's by itself. Let me see if I can show you. There you go. I should have done a close-up of the Kaleidos ones as well. See, I'm not used to a camera doing this because my previous camera could only shoot in manual focus mode, because else the focus would just go off the entire time and it would be more blurry for the entire video than I was in focus. But this one is actually doing a really good job. I'm loving this. So yeah, this is what that palette looks like. This made me realize how much I enjoyed Adept, and you will find in a video that will go up, I hope tomorrow, that my other Adept purchase that I tried this year was a little less successful. So Adept is not my favorite brand across the board, but they do some really nice things. I'm still really happy I have that palette. Then a palette that I tried last year for the first time, but this brand is no longer with us. This is Aether Beauty's Moonlight Crystal palette. That's what it's called. And this was my favorite of the two. I also tried the Rose Quartz. And here we have that palette with like lovely blues, greens, and purples. Really stunning. These were apparently infused with like crystals or something. That's what they claimed. But this brand is now defunct, so I know you can no longer buy this one, but I still enjoy mine. I like this one. Miss Pat. Miss Pat McGrath. I tried the Voyeuristic Vixen. Is that what it's called? Yeah, oh, I got the name right. The Venus in Fleurs Look Squad in Voyeuristic Vixen. That's what it's called. I used to call this the Fleur Vixen. I couldn't get the name right. And this is quite warm-toned for my liking, but I'm not sure if you can see. It just has some really pretty shimmers, but because it does have that one very useful matte as well, you can really create the full look. And from all of my Pat McGrath like little 4 pans like this is my favorite one. So, still loving that one. Then last year, because of some other YouTubers that I'm following, I found this palette. This is from a British indie brand, really small, from the Isle of Wight. That's where they're located. It's Raven's Castle from Makeup by Lisa. And this is just such a stunning little palette. I mean, is this me in a palette? Like these like taupey gray tones, some really pretty toppers, a hint of purple. And I already know come declutter time in 2024, I always post my declutters in like around spring cleaning time. So March is when you can expect those. I know that there's going to be a palette that's going to be on the chopping block because I favor this over it. Some of you may already guess what palette that is, but I still love this thing to pieces. A great cool tone color story. And then last year I discovered Fantasy Cosmetica, and spoiler alert, Fantasy Cosmetica may just show up in my end of year favorites for 2023 as well, because they are currently one of my favorite brands. This is their Druid palette, which is the first one I tried by them. And this is very much like ABH Subculture sort of vibes, but with multi-chromes. So, do with that what you wish. But you get those like grungy notes in there, and then some really lovely, more shifty shades that really bring the palette together. And that's one of the things I love about Fantasy Cosmetica, is how they have some really good blendable mattes and some really nice shimmers to complement them. Speaking of indie brands with a really lovely formula, last year I couldn't stop raving about my Fall Magic from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the old palette. They redid it this year and came out with the Sorcerer Smoke. And I kind of feel they took this palette, split it into two, and made everything more warm-toned. But that could just be me. This is why I don't own those newer palettes, because I already have this, and I really like this one. So let me show you what the color story is like. This is what the Fall Magic from Unearthly looks like. So this is the previous version. This is no longer available, but it's just a stunning little palette, isn't it? It just has these really nice deep dark browns. It does have some cool tones here, which I just really enjoy. You got some greens, you got some purples. You just have all the colors for fall in one palette. Perfection. And I tried Cosmic brushes. I think they're now called Cosmic Beauty. That's what I hear everybody saying, but I can't find it anywhere on their Insta. Not sure how that goes, but their Serenity palette. And I have been umming and ahhing all year what my next Cosmic Brushes purchase could be. And then of course they dropped that Winter Wonderland palette at the end of the year and I was like, sold, need that in my life, because I think it's gonna be really nice together with this, but it's also a blue, green, teal and purple leaning palette. The green side is more like in the teals, I feel, but like teals, blues, and purples looks stunning. Here is what the Serenity looks like though. So it has a couple of random warmths that I thought I wasn't gonna vibe with, but then for instance, this orangey shade actually pulled like a neutral on me. So not like a neon orange. And it just didn't have as many shimmers, but now the brand also chucks in like 1 or 2 multi-chromes. So they've been really playing around with their formula and seeing what they can like do. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy the Cosmic Brushes brand and love seeing what they do. Not everything is for me. Now I have that Winter Wonderland palette, the Muse and the Delicious Delights, no longer on the wish lists. So I'm glad I waited and held off to get the color story that truly makes my heart go aflutter. And finally, this guy. This guy, of course, the Catrice Falling Colors. I have to share this one with you. This is currently back in stock on Amazon. I hope they still have it. And you can win this if you would like. I am running a giveaway over on this channel because I hit 10K. It's still open until the 15th of January. I wanted to make sure there was plenty of time for you to be entering before I select the winner. And there isn't going to be one winner. I have 3. Nearly identical, but like half of the products in the sets are identical because I purchased those with my own money and then someone really kindly gifted me some extra bits to put in there. So there are differences between the 3 packages, but overall the amount of makeup you're gonna get is the same value for every single one of the palettes. So I'll make sure to link you to the announcement video down below if you want to enter and if you want to see what the price entails. But this palette I'm giving away, I use it again this year. I went back to it to see, do I still like this as much? But this is just the best thing that Catrice has done ever. Like I'm not sure how they're gonna top this, to be quite fair. Like it's a tall feat. Really, really is. So here is that palette closed up. Again, it's very shiny. So I hope you can see. It just has some really stunning shades. Lots of rosy mauve leaning shades. Like you're thrown off because of the gold packaging and because this row here is very orange. But if you think that one away, like if you don't think about that one, this section is very sort of rosy mauve leaning. And then this as well, so it's pretty cool toned. It's got some really stunning high shine metallic shimmers. This feels and applies like a Huda Beauty 18 pan eyeshadow palette. It really, really does, but this is 15 euros. So, take your pick. You could either go on Amazon and try and purchase this. They will ship it to you from Germany, as far as I know. I'm not sure if that's available like worldwide or not, or how much you would have to pay for shipping, but that's how I got mine to put in the giveaway. So you could also just enter the giveaway if that's what you want. There's other palettes in that price bag as well. Some of my all-time favorite makeup, but also some things that I know that are harder to get for some people as well. So I tried to really be very mindful, and then there's lots of other like extra things as well, like some singles and a palette to put the singles into from Sydney Grace and Glam Shop. So if those were brands you were looking to try if you're in Europe, that could be interesting for you. But also if you just want to have a look at some of the makeup I love and you want to have some of that in your hands, then that little makeup like prize bag giveaway that I have planned for you can be very helpful. So there we have it. Those were my 2022 favorites, and I think I still like all of these products, save for like 1 or 2 things. How consistent of me. I'm very chuffed with how consistent that is. Speaking of consistency, I feel like my voice is going a little bit, so that means we need to round out the video. I'm going to be shutting this down and edit this and hopefully be very happy with how it all came out. I really hope it works. Fingers crossed, and let me know in a comment down below what you thought of the video quality, the colors, and also the audio, because I now have a different microphone to film with. It is wireless. Look, it's got its little head. So yeah, that's it for me for today. I'm gonna have to hold this somewhere now because it's like I can now be like a proper TV presenter with a little microphone like this. I feel very fancy and professional right now. Oh well, tell you more about the camera once we get to my monthly haul next week, but I have 3 more videos in store for you. If my voice holds, I will be filming the rest of the videos that go up next week, in the rest of the week tomorrow. So I hope to see you in my next video very, very soon. The next videos are gonna go up on Thursday, Friday or Saturday, and Sunday for sure. So hope to see you in those, and I hope you have a great day. Happy holidays. I know it's a little bit belated, but I hope you had a great time over the Christmas Day period, if that's what you're celebrating. And of course, Happy New Year, if that's what you're celebrating as well. So lovely to see you all again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.